So, my question is about affirmation and wanting to be feeling the vibration of success or abundance or something like that. And it can feel good to say maybe just an affirmation of I am wealthy, but maybe I'm not wealthy. Maybe it's better to say
this is really good.
Becoming more wealthy, or
it's really good because when you say something you don't mean, the universe hears what you mean. So every subject is two subjects, wanted and absence of it. It's like a stick with two ends. So if you're feeling not enough money for whatever reason, and you decide that you're just going to affirm how much money you have or how much money is coming in that moment of that negative emotion, what do you think the universe is hearing? Because the universe isn't hearing your words. The universe is responding to your vibration. So, wasn't that good? Isn't that a good thing to know? And here's another nice way of looking at it. Do 100% of your affirming from the high-flying disc. And do no affirming from any other disc. Because it falls into the category of trying too hard and it just sort of activates something that you didn't mean to activate. That was really helpful too, don't you think?
Yeah, so sometimes affirming it feels like helps bring me up to a higher disc, and then other times it feels like it doesn't.
Well, if it does, then do it, and if it doesn't, then don't.
Okay.
In other words, you can feel when you're trying too hard. We've talked about focus wheels and different things. The focus wheel is really an effective tool because, do you know about it? Esther draws it on a piece of paper, and she puts two small circles in the center, one that says what she's reaching for, and then at the end she makes a stronger statement of what she feels she's achieved, and then about 12 circles around the edge. So she makes her statement of intent and then says something that doesn't compromise what she's going for. In other words, if you're saying I'm wanting to be financially abundant, and the reason that you're doing the focus wheel is because you are really trying to focus yourself into more abundance, you've already asked the universe for it, but you're not really feeling it, and so you're doing a focus wheel in order to focus yourself into more abundance. As you say, all the money I want is flowing to me, as that's not something that you believe, then that statement has a backfiring. Now you're practicing the wrong end of the stick. You're saying something you don't mean, and the universe is hearing what you mean. And so if you keep affirming under those conditions, you will reinforce how not enough money you feel. Does that make sense to you? Oh, Abraham, this is hard. I'm just trying. So that's when we say start with something general. There is all manner of abundance around. Well, if you believe that, then you didn't contradict anything there. So you made a statement that allows you to still float on the high-flying disc or move in the direction of it. Abundance comes in lots of forms. We have abundance of sunshine. We have abundance of water. We have abundance. And don't say things you don't mean. If it's been cloudy for a month, don't say that. If you're in a drought, don't say that either. You see what we're getting at? You have to say what you mean that feels good when you say it. So you got to feel around and find those things, because what you're doing, you're establishing that first 17 seconds. And the first 17 seconds that you establish is what's going to keep the momentum going. And law of attraction will help you find the more and the more and the more and the more. So two things are your objectives. One is you want to be on the high-flying disc if you can. The other is you want to be as general as you can so that you not compromise. And you want not to emphasize or add energy to, you do not want to affirm what you do not want. And so this is a little bit tricky thing that we are clarifying here. Sometimes by demanding what you want in feeling the absence of it, you affirm in opposition to what you mean to affirm. Esther had the most exhilarating experience a few weeks ago with these two little people that she loves more than life itself, her granddaughter and grandson. They went to the fair in Del Mar. And right from the beginning, they got off on different foots. Kate was blissed out, Luke not so much. So the first thing that happened, Kate won on this spinning wheel, something she really, really wanted, because the man let her spin 3 times till she got what she wanted. Luke spun once and got something he didn't want and didn't get offered any more spins. Not fair, is it? So then off they went. The little games. Luke plays basketball. He's really, really good at it. But there was a sort of rigged hoop. And Esther couldn't spend enough money to help him get one in. 3 more balls, please. 3 more balls, please. 3 more balls, please. 3 more balls, please. Kate threw it. First time, went in. Freaky. She won a great big Pegasus. So beautiful, pink and white. So as the day progressed, it was like that. Just more of the same. Kate won so many things that they had to make a trip to the car. They couldn't carry them all. And Luke said, it's like they don't want me to win. And Esther just observed. She wanted him to change his mood. She so wanted him to feel different than he did. She just wanted to shake him into happiness. Be nice if that worked. Even though it defies every law that we know to be. So at the end, they had gone to the fair really because there was the Train concert. And all of them liked Train so much. And stage manager picked Kate from the audience to go on stage with Train. Incredible. Incredible. And as Esther looked, happy, not happy, happier, less happy, 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 happier, unhappier, 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 unhappier. It was the most remarkable experience. And nothing could be done. That's not the time to have the teaching moment, is it? Not with anybody else and not with you either. And then the concert was over. It was almost time to leave the fair. The band played its last number. The crowd applauded and applauded and applauded and applauded and applauded and demanded an encore, and out they came again. Another wonderful song. And lead singer has 3 more t-shirts, which he lobs into the audience. And Kate gets one of them. And so, as Esther watched this, because sometimes Kate is Luke, and sometimes Luke is Kate, and sometimes Esther is Kate, and sometimes Esther is Luke. In other words, we do not want Luke to seem synonymous with being out of the vortex, because he isn't out of the vortex. He isn't off his high-flying disc. He just was that day. And everything reflected his mood, and everything reflects your mood too. And so we want you to take one day at a time, and to recognize that this is the day, this is the moment that is your point of attraction. And in this moment that is your point of attraction, how you doing? And if you're doing all right, then affirm. If you're not doing all right, then do something about doing all right. And sometimes the best thing that you can do about feeling better than how you're feeling is take a nap. Sometimes that's the best choice. Or take a walk. Don't call that friend that you vent to. Don't vent. Don't verbalize. Don't affirm. Don't affirm with your words. Don't affirm with your mind. Don't affirm with your fist. Don't affirm. Don't affirm unless you're sure you're on the high-flying disc. It is our promise to you. As you know the difference, and you do. And when you're on the high-flying disc, you get more and more specific. And when you're on less than high-flying discs, you become less and less and less specific. In other words, the less specific you are, the sooner that path dries up. The more, first time, the more specific you are, the more you open the valve, you open the pipe. So, open your pipes generally. When you're sure they're open, then talk more about it, give it more airtime, more examples, remember more things. Have you ever opened a pipe just a little bit and every bad thing that ever happened to you flooded into your mind? You got that pipe wide open, didn't you? And all the stuff that you do not want flows into your experience. You ever opened a good feeling pipe? And everything that you want flows into your experience. It seems like a good time to talk about how things move from vibration into tangible.
Yeah.
Through the pipe. But how does it happen? How does it happen? How does it come? So you're on that vibrational wavelength, wanted or unwanted. Let's say wanted. You're on that vibrational wavelength. You've been there for a little while. So now you've got some momentum going. So more thoughts are beginning to flow to you. Ideas are beginning to flow. Can you accept an idea as a manifestation, as an early manifestation? Oh, here's an even better question. Can you accept an emotion as a manifestation? Ooh, it is, isn't it? So what's an emotion a manifestation of? It's a manifestation, an amplification, a demonstration of your vibration. Your vibration and what? Your vibration and its relationship to its subject. So the stronger the emotion you feel, not good feeling or good feeling, then the more access you have to ideas and future manifestations. You see how it works? So you want to not think about those things that don't feel good, and you want to think about those things that do feel good. But most of all, you want to know the difference, do you? So can you think about a lot of subjects that you've had, or a lot of conversations that you've had with a lot of people about manifestations as you've been sorting them into wanted and unwanted piles? Can you feel the futility of that? Can you feel how often that you were on a not very high-flying disc, and that was the time that you had a teaching moment with someone that you care about? Have you ever got after somebody about something that they didn't just demonstrate more of it to you? It's uncanny. You say, didn't I just tell you that? And they want to say, I don't know what came over me. I just had such a strong impulse to give you more of this thing that I know you do not want. I didn't mean to do it. I was just walking along minding my own business, and I felt inspired to annoy you, and I don't know where it came from. I don't know where it came from. So, helpful?
Yes.
Do you want to chew a little more, or did that satisfy it? Affirmations.
Affirming when you're on that high-flying disc is kind of.
And don't worry about it. If you're affirming something that you don't mean and it doesn't feel bad, then keep affirming it, because there are things that you really don't want to do. Esther said, Abraham, I get this high-flying disc. You want me to get on the high-flying disc and then get on the high-flying disc and then take a walk, get on the high-flying disc and then write an email, get on the high-flying disc and then have a conversation with someone I care about, get on the high-flying disc and then. But Abraham, I have stuff I have to do today, whether I'm on the high-flying disc or not. You know, there's just stuff I have to do. And we say, well, we would like you to eventually get over that. We would like you to eventually get to the point that if you're not on the high-flying disc, that you just are unwilling to proceed. And you say, but I probably should go to work. And we say, then get on the high-flying disc. And you say, but I have to go tomorrow. I don't think there's enough time for me to get on the high-flying disc about that. And so we know that there are things that you have to do, that there are things that you are committed to, that there are action things that you have momentum about. But it is our promise to you that as every chance you get on the high-flying disc. It won't be long. If you wake up tomorrow with the dominant intent to get on the high-flying disc, you might not make it till breakfast before you fall off of it. But the next day, you get on the high-flying disc, and you might not make it till breakfast. But the next day, you get on the high-flying disc, you'll sustain it a little longer, and the next, 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 until just with that simple intention of getting the day started by appreciating and finding something to feel good about, you'll begin to develop a propensity for finding it. It just gets easier and easier and easier and easier. And then within 4 or 5 or 6 days of it, demonstrations of it that you will relate to your determined reaching for it will be so abundant in your day that you will never again question the relationship between the mood that you are deliberately choosing and what's happening next.